Thank you for tuning in to episode 2 of Finding Myself Through Obesity. We're going to be talking about emotional weight. Since losing my weight and gaining it back and going through so much shame and depression, I just never want to do that again. It caused me to be scared to even try again, but I can't live my life being scared anymore. I have to figure this out. So I wanted to break down the issues I think I need to deal with in order to move on to a healthier life and be able to let go of the emotional weight. And so these are the areas I feel like I need to heal in no particular order, just as they came to me in my mind. So the first one is childhood issues. What was the younger me lacking, and what beliefs did I gain from that experience? Number 2, people pleasing, codependency issues. And then number 3, my relationships, especially my relationship with my husband. Number 4, I stopped dreaming. Like I was constantly stuck in the past, being a victim and not having any vision of the future anymore. Number 5, being honest with myself and taking responsibility for my life, which includes learning to step into my own power. Number 6, dealing with negative emotions without judgment, guilt, and shame. Number 7, I'm always stuck in scarcity mindset, especially about money. Number 8, my connection to God and my soul. Number 9, self-love. And what does it really mean to love yourself? And number 10, letting go of expectations of what I thought my life would and should look like. And I'm sure there are more issues that will come up for me, but for now, this is what my heart is telling me to look at. I'd like to uncover the real issues to why I want to escape with food so that the true healing can happen. I would like to take some time to break down each one of these issues in different episodes. So here we go with number 1, childhood issues. Most of our belief systems start in childhood, right? What are we allowed to do? What are we taught to believe? How do we talk to each other? How do others talk to us? How are we taught to show up with other people? What is our belief about money? Our religious beliefs? What is right and what is wrong? And some of the things we learn are great, and we can take them and share them with our kids. But there are other things that we learn that could make our life more difficult. I don't even want to think about all of the ways that I have traumatized my kids in their childhood, but I did the best that I could, and I hope that they will be able to forgive me when they see the signs of their issues coming out as they grow older. So I love looking back at my childhood because it was a wonderful experience. I have so many good memories with my family. I feel like we were a really close and loving family, and I feel like we still are. My dad said I came out with a big smile on my face, and I was always happy. So I was number 5 of 7 kids. We had 4 boys and 3 girls. I know I was born into this family because I needed to have this exact experience to become who I was meant to be. Looking into what I was taught in my home, I only remember a few experiences that have come up for me as indicators that I may need to look deeper into the issue. I noticed that first off, I was not raised to be a strong, independent woman. I believed I needed a man to follow and take care of me. I believed that my dad knew everything. I was told that if I would just listen to him and do what he tells me to do, then I would be happy. And so I did. I learned to do as I'm told, and then I will be loved. I did feel loved. I knew exactly what I needed to do to get my dad's love and affection. I got good at manipulating the situation to make me look good too. I was daddy's little princess, and he was my perfect prince. When I was a little girl, this really worked for me. My dad was really and still is really special to me. But when I got married, it did not really help my situation. And I will go into more details about that in a later episode where I talk about my relationship with my husband. And I can understand why my dad wanted me to listen to him. I felt the exact same way with my kids. As parents, we do not want to watch our kids suffer. We want to help them avoid all of the pitfalls, right? It is correct that parents can see a bigger perspective than the kids can see because they have more experience. The learning and growth we develop in making decisions, whether right or wrong, help us find out who we really are. And I didn't know who I was. I just knew who I needed to be in order to be loved. I was taught not to speak my mind if it hurt someone's feelings. So that was something my dad would always get upset at us for. I remember a time when I was about 7 years old and my dad punished me for speaking my mind. He grabbed me, kicked me in the butt, and sent me straight to my room. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I knew that it had to do with something that I said to my mom that made her feel bad. So my dad sent me to my room and I was heartbroken. He came down and talked to me a few minutes later and we discussed why he was upset, what I did wrong, and most importantly, he made sure I knew that he loved me. We hugged and all was right in the world again. All I needed to do was not tell people how I feel if it hurts their feelings. I was also a little performer. My family is a musical family and we did a lot of singing and performing. I was a naturally gifted singer, and as a little performer, I got a lot of attention. I think this hindered me a lot because with very little effort, it fed me so much attention externally. And I also got a lot of attention from my parents when I was performing, doing plays, or doing pageants, which was feeding my need to be in the spotlight because I remember having 7 siblings and it's hard to get attention when you have that many kids. My mom is really amazing. She is so talented and she's always busy creating something amazing. She had 7 kids and had her own business. My dad was a bishop, and so he was gone a lot during this time, and I can't even imagine what she was going through. But as a little girl, I didn't understand that. I wanted what I wanted. I remember a couple specific times where I felt like I needed more from my mom. One time I was at the bus stop. I called my mom, and at the end of the conversation, I said, "Okay, bye, Mom. I love you." And she said, "Bye," and hung up quickly. And I was just devastated. I remember calling her right back and was like, "Mom, why didn't you say I love you too? Don't you love me?" And I kind of laugh now because she was probably in the middle of something and had to quickly hang up. But to me as a little girl, I just felt like she didn't have enough time for me. Another experience is when I was swimming at a pool at a condo my aunt was renting. And I remember wanting my mom to watch me or pay attention to me. And so I came up with this most amazing plan. I was going to pretend that I'm drowning, and then she is going to save me. And I'm laughing now because why would she think I was drowning if I wasn't really drowning? But I would go under the water, hold my breath for as long as I could, floating to the top, looking desperate, but no one saved me. My mom never noticed. And I just remember feeling really sad. It's a pretty funny story now that I think about it. But because my mom was so busy, I kind of took the opposite stance. And when my kids were born, I did not want to be busy. And so I went the other extreme, and I was probably there for my kids too much, did too much for them. But that's how it goes, right? So the question is, as a little girl, I knew that I was a singer. I knew that I was a good girl. I wanted to be obedient. I was always happy, never angry. I just do what I'm told. I never wanted to fail. I wanted to stay in the safe zone. I always wanted to feel loved. After going through all of that, I made a list of things that I learned to believe as a child that aren't working for me anymore. We learn ways to cope when we're young, to survive different circumstances that we are in. But as we grow to be adults, we don't realize that it's not the same. It's not going to actually help us get through things, but we continue to use the same tactics. Okay, number 1, as a child, I believed I need a man to take care of me. This is something that I'm just barely learning to get over. I always wanted somebody to take care of me, and I didn't ever want to have to be in charge of myself. So instead, I want to believe that I don't need a man to take care of me, that I am capable of taking care of myself, and that I have everything in me to create something amazing if I just apply myself. Number 2, as a child, I believed I cannot say how I feel if it hurts someone else's feelings. This is really played into my codependency, which I will go into in a different episode. I learned to not speak my mind anymore. Only say what is kind and nice and good, and suppress all the other things that you feel. I still don't like to hurt people's feelings, but sometimes the truth needs to be told. And so I want to believe I am not responsible for other people's feelings. Okay, number 3, I'm too needy. And I want to believe that there is no such thing as too needy. If you need something, then there's a reason for it. Number 4, as a child, I believed my value depends on how much attention I'm getting or on external factors like performing. This has been a big one for me. I never learned how to turn on that internal compass and know that I was enough without people telling me that I was enough. I want to believe that it doesn't matter what anyone else says about me. What matters is what I am saying about myself and how I'm feeling about myself. Number 5, as a child, I believed it is everyone else's job to love me and not my own. It kind of goes along with the number 4. Number 6, as a child, I believed I don't want to be a leader for myself because I might make a mistake and that could cause me not to be loved. So I will just do as I'm told. So that kind of goes along with needing a man to take care of me or somebody else to take care of me. I want to be a leader because then I can have the control to create the life that I want to have. The last thing that I wrote that I learned as a child is that I can't trust my feelings and I need somebody else to tell me how to feel and what to do. And that kind of goes along with it's everyone else's job to love me and not my own job. I actually need to learn to trust my feelings because when you don't trust your feelings, you stop listening to yourself. One of the most powerful exercises that I have been doing lately is to do the inner child healing work, where you close your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths, and you picture you as a little girl or a little boy. You look at them and you can feel what their emotional needs are, and then you give it to them. So you can have a conversation with your little self and say those words that she needed to hear. Give her a hug. Let her know that you are always there for her. Another one that my mentor just had me do is to go visit yourself as a little girl doing something that nobody's controlling you, in a place where you're just doing something and you're free to create, and go play with her. Take that little girl, so the little Alicia, I will take her in my arms and hold her and hug her and tell her I love her and I'm listening to her and that I will always be there for her. And then just picture her melting inside of me, and so then she becomes part of me. And I love that. So anyone who wants to learn more about the inner child healing, just message me. It is a really powerful exercise. So thank you so much for listening. We're going to dive deep into the next episode. We're going to be talking about people pleasing and codependency issues. I hope today that you will journal some of the experiences that you remember as a child. Don't do it in judgment, just do it out of curiosity. Okay, where did I learn this? I want to challenge you to think about your childhood, think about the experiences that emotionally are stuck into your mind. Remember how you felt. Remember what it made you think about yourself. And then ask yourself, is this something that is serving me now as an adult? And if it's not, then we have the power to change that. And I want to challenge you to try that and see if it works for you. And I would love to hear all about it. So comment or message me. I am here for you. We are on this journey together. Have a great week.